our work have to deliver impact on the ground. And our mission is that agriculture commodity production and the forest product production deliver positive impact for people, nature, and climate. So all that we are doing, our focus is on people who live in areas where the commodities are produced, and then also the environment in areas where the commodities are produced, and also the climate, as you heard, the impact of climate change. So we have to protect the climate. And these are our three focus. And we've managed to do that very well in several countries we operate. Let me give you an example. For example, under our African Palm Oil Initiative program, we've managed for 10 countries in West and Central Africa to sign a declaration last year at COP27 in Egypt, committing themselves to the production of responsible palm oil in Africa. As we all know, Africa is a net importer of palm oil, and most countries in Africa have aggressive programs for oil palm expansion. We also know that oil palm expansion, even though it's good, provides jobs and opportunities for local communities, and also boost the national economy and all of that. It can also bring negative social and environmental impact if it's not planned and implemented very well. So our approach is to work with governments, stakeholders, farmers, companies, and communities to make sure responsible palm production is the norm in Africa. And that's exactly what we are doing. And when you produce palm oil responsibly, then people can benefit from it, the environment is protected, and the nature is also protected. Of course, there are several challenges, and there are a lot of gaps we have identified. One of the gaps we have identified, which we're trying to work with partners to address, is lack of capacity in most African countries. One, lack of capacity and lack of understanding of how best practice requirement can be delivered in practice. And so we are creating awareness and we are building capacity. And that's what we hear from most people who have benefited from our training programs across West and Central Africa. The second thing we've also identified is that there's weak institutional structures in most of the countries we operate. And for some of those countries, we're working with partners to strengthen the institutions responsible for forestry and agriculture production. The other thing we've also identified is the weak legal framework for agriculture and forest protection and forest management. Again, we're working with countries in West and Central Africa and with government to overhaul the regulatory framework and to also strengthen the institutional framework responsible for the management of forest and agricultural commodities production. So these are the kind of challenges we're facing, and these are the interventions we're putting in place together with our partners to deal with those challenges. We believe that natural resource management cannot be handled by a single stakeholder. And in fact, natural resources of every country, the government have the underlying processes of control for protecting and managing them. So there is nothing even we can do to succeed in delivering the positive impact for people, nature, and climate without working with government. And that's one of our core principles. So everywhere we operate, every country we operate, we have very good relationship with government and trying to influence policies and laws, and then trying to support institutions that are enforcing the laws and the regulations to be able to deliver on their mandates. Every single member of our team is very proud of what we have delivered. And in fact, even our partners and companies and the clients we work with are very proud of our achievement. And I'm sure you heard about some of them talking about what we have helped them to deliver. So the satisfaction comes from the fact that we have supported companies, government, and the private sector across West and Central Africa to deliver their own responsible sourcing and production commitment. And for us, that is very important achievement. Beyond the 10 years, as I indicated in my speech, we have already even begun to do that. Expanding the countries we operate, expanding the partnership we have with government, private sector, and civil society organizations, and building strong collaborations with other partners and other organizations like Proforest, who share the vision and the mission we have to work together to collaboratively deliver the wider impact that we seek to deliver. So that's our ambition. And we're confident that with what we've delivered in the past 10 years, we're going to do much more in the next few years or the next decade.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe,
and click on the bell for more updates.